Online now, adding care to your PCs. The founders of Online Now are Alexandra Morrison, the Vice President of Marketing and the Vice President of Accounting and Finance, Anna Bryant, the Vice President of Sales Management and the Vice President of Manufacturing, Ciana Buchanan, the President, Overall Leadership and the Vice President of Sales Management, Garrett Morgan, the Vice President of Manufacturing and the Vice President of Accounting and Finance, and Brouse, the Vice President of Business Analytics and the Vice President of Marketing. About Online Now. Online Now's first launch was in February of 2022, and it consisted of one laptop. The laptop has now been discontinued, but has been revamped with more technological features by the founders, and is now called the Atom 2. The company currently has 5 computers, and those consist of 2 laptops and 3 desktops. The laptops are called the Atom 2 and the Atom LT, and the desktops are called the Atomic Pro, and the Atomic Pro Max, each getting better with more technological features as the Pro and the Pro Max are added on. Each of the laptops are priced under $2,900, and all 3 desktops are priced under $3,800. The company operates in 3 regions, and within those 3 regions, 5 cities. The regions consist of NORAM, APAC, and Europe, and within those regions, the cities are Los Angeles, Chicago, Tokyo, Paris, and London. Online Now's main focus is highly competitive segments, with their first priority being traveler and their second priority being workhouse and their third being cost cutter. What Online Now creates and why? Online Now creates effective and universal laptops and desktops that people with any occupation or computer need can use. Online Now has made many technological advances since its first launch, including monitors and adding high-capacity hard drives. The company kept in mind pricing when updating and creating their computers because it is important to the founders that people will be able to comfortably afford the company's products. Because the founders each have their own personal interests, it was also important to create technology that would be universal for other computer needs. Online Now does this because it's the company's responsibility to provide logical options for customers in this market space who also need advanced technology. The founders of Online Now also wanted options for consumers to choose from without having to take other brands into consideration.
So, motto and goals. At Online Now, our motto is adding care to your PCs. It's really all about the customers. Our founders believe that our customers were the key to our success. Online Now's customers were the key to our success because they believed and supported what Online Now had to offer. From our company's perspective, we find valuability in doing this by keeping good financials and an upstanding company for our customers. Us. Really, I believe Online Now made a difference to our customers because they found trust in a working product. Also, not only do we develop as a company after learning from our mistakes, but we are a strong-willed team that takes pride in what we do. However, ultimately, our goals are to beat the competition by providing the best products available and keeping our customers happy.
So for Online Now, our products, we had 2 laptops or 3. We started off with the Atom, which we converted to the Atom 2 in Q5. We put some upgrades, so we decided to rename, and it did very well for a while. We also had the Atom LT, which became available in Q7. We had the Atomic, which became available in Q5, the Atomic Pro, which came available in Q6, and the Atomic Pro Max that became available in Q7. Our price ranges for our desktops ranged from $3,200 to $3,900, and our laptops range from $2,200 to $2,900. So our two most successful computers were the Atom LT and the Atomic Pro. They were both very new. They both included new R&D investments, and I think that's why they were so successful. So here are some product features for computers for Online Now. The Atom LT was a 14-inch standard laptop. It had ultra high capacity and high speed. It was made with professional software. Some special features were auto backup and video conferencing. Additional software included presentation, business graphics, database, bookkeeping, web design, games, and security suite. The Atomic Pro Max was not one of our most successful, but it was top 3. It was 21-inch high resolution with ultra high capacity, high speed power, and it also had an extended keyboard and a slim case. Special features were expansion slot, auto backup, and video conferencing. It also had all the same additional software as the Atom LT. The Atomic Pro Max was our most powerful computer on the market. It was one step above the Atomic Pro. The only differences were the Atomic Pro Max had an expanded keyboard, slim case, and that was it. The Atom LT was so successful because it was a laptop with video conferencing, and it was also very powerful. So you could be anywhere in the world, traveling, doing anything, and you could do exactly what you needed for work, and you could join any conference call anywhere. So our R&D investments for Online Now. Online Now invested in the slim desktop for a little over $1.3 million. Online Now also invested in video conferencing for a little over $2.1 million. We were able to do this with our venture capital investments. The slim desktop became available to us in Q8, and the video conferencing became available to us in Q7. Online Now also received 2 licensing contracts from CPU. These were the contracts sent to us. The first one we received was for Office Software Pro upgrade for $1.2 million. We also received the Computing Power Ultra Fast for a little over $2 million. Online Now rejected both of these offers. We did not feel that it would be beneficial to us at this time. So for advertising, some of our top advertisements for Online Now were the Atom 2 in Q6, Easy and Powerful for the Atomic Pro in Q8, and the all new for the Atomic Pro Max in Q7 and Q8. These advertisements were so successful because Online Now learned to use less is more. With our advertisements, we began to cut out a lot of unnecessary wording within our advertisements. We felt that the consumers responded very well to this, although we were not some of the top advertisements through our competitors. We had about 28 local media placements in Q8. Some regional media placements that Online Now used was the Business Newspaper, Leading Trade Journals, New Venture Magazine, and General Business Magazine. We used these throughout the entire process of our company.
Online Now decided to open up a production facility in Sao Paulo, which is in southeastern Brazil. Every computer is made and shipped directly from there to Europe, APAC, and more. Production changes. Our fixed capacities have changed a lot due to the fact that we were projecting a higher demand based on new features and new products that we have added to our lines. Fixed capacity increased from 25 in Q5 to 100 by Q8, so we increased it by 25 units per day per quarter. Operating capacity also increased right alongside with that. Q5, 17 units per day, Q8, 99 units per day. And again, that was just to keep up with the rising demand due to the new changes and try to promote as many sales as possible. R&D expenditure was a major investment for us in Q5. we didn't have much money to invest into it. So we only invested $100,000. By quarter 8, we invested $400,000. So that production change over time really did reduce from 15% to 42%, which went from 11 hours to change it over to 2 hours, which really helped us out and saved us a ton of money. Production changeover costs reduced from 10% to 28%. In future quarters, we plan to invest more and more money into this so we can get the time and cost as low as possible so we can be more efficient. With quality improvement, quality inspections, case hard drive monitor, we did those from the get-go. Computing power was added in quarter 7, and then keyboard and mouse were added in quarter 8. Variant study, hard drive and monitor, and then in quarter 7 we did start doing it on computing power. Source study, hard drive, of course, and then we did add the monitor in quarter 7 as well. We are making these improvements and working to be the most reliable computer company on the market. We want all of our computers to be the most reliable so that we will attract a larger customer base and be able to sell more product. Right now, we are the second most reliable on the market. Our goal is to be the first, so in future quarters, we will do more studies into what causes these errors and how we can fix it so that it can be improved overall. With the sales channel, before the $5 million investment, we had 3 sales offices, one in Chicago, one in Tokyo, and one in Paris. Our goal was to just kind of get our feet on the ground in 3 different regions. We hired 5 salespeople at each at first, 2 for traveler, 1 for innovator, 1 for cost cutter, and then a support person. We did pretty well in Chicago, and Paris was pretty good too, but Tokyo wasn't that great in the beginning, but as times changed and we did add more salespeople, it did do better. After the $5 million investment, we opened up a sales office in Los Angeles, which is the most highly competitive city out of all of the cities in every region. Every other competitor does have an office there. We hired 7 additional salespeople in quarter 7, and then we did up that to 8 by the end of it. And then in London, it's the highest competition in Europe. It's not as high of a competition as Los Angeles, but it is the highest in Europe. So we did hire 7 additional salespeople at first, and then we did up it to 8. Both of them did really well. Los Angeles definitely did better than London, but London was the top tier in Europe. For the sales personnel, we did offer some incentives such as professional training programs, sales contests for the top third of salespeople, and demonstration kits for the main fact that we want people to know how to sell our product, know how we want them to display the product and show the product, know how to use the product and teach potential customers on how to use it, and then be motivated to sell more. The sales contest, we did invest $2,000 per person just for a nice vacation prize, just to motivate people. Sell as much as you can, know as much as you can, learn as much as you can, teach as much as you can. So hopefully that will also increase our demand, which it has so far, but as we invest more and more money, we plan to have our demand go through the roof. We also did a cash bonus for top third of salespeople for the Atomic Pro, Atomic LT, and Atomic Pro Max. In quarter 7, we did do flat rates for all 3, different for each region, but flat rates. Norm was 1,000, Europe was 700, and APAC was 500. In quarter 8, we realized that we wanted the Atomic Pro Max to be the #1 priority with the most sales. So we did increase the Atomic Pro Max for Norm to $1,300, Europe $900, and APAC $600. The Atomic Pro in Norm was 1,000. In Europe, it was 700, and in APAC, it was 500. In the LT, we still want it to be sold, but it is not our main priority. So Norm 700, Europe 500, APAC 400.
Switching over from sales, I'll be discussing the quarter 5 to quarter 8 financial results. starting with the pro forma cash flow. And in this section of the presentation, I'll just be going over some of the trends seen within each of the financial documents. So first, in this one, you can see that there is growth in revenues each quarter, that the cash balance decreases and then increases. There is growth in net operating cash flow each quarter. And then looking at cost of goods sold, you can see that the ending inventory goes up and down. Next, taking a closer look at revenues, you can see that the revenues grew each quarter, and it had its biggest jump between quarter 6 and quarter 7, and then ended on its highest note in quarter 8. Next, looking at profitability, I gathered this information from the income statement, and these were the gross profit numbers from each of the 4 quarters. Similarly to revenues, you can see that between quarter 6 and quarter 7, there was a huge jump, and it ended on its highest note in quarter 8. The biggest jump was stemmed from the new additions of Atomic Pro Max and Atom LT, but overall you can see how profitable the company was. Next, taking a look at the balance sheet, you can see that there's a big drop in cash from quarter 5 to quarter 6 and big growth between quarter 6 to quarter 7. This was mainly from no financing activities in quarter 6 to add to the cash, and it grew a lot because operating activities were high due to the addition of 2 new brands in quarter 7. Next, I'll be discussing some of the critical decisions that were made each quarter, starting with quarter 5. In quarter 5, Online Now chose to add more features to the laptops and computers. So this was done so that customers would be more drawn to the products. And overall, it had a very positive result on the company since the revenues increased between quarter 5 to quarter 6. And looking at this picture, you can see how large the costs were from the case and the video conferencing. Next, looking at quarter 5 and quarter 6, mainly at quarter 6, you can see that our ads completely changed. In quarter 5, we had 2 ads, and then in quarter 6, we had 3, and we completely revised our ads so that we could draw in more customers and reach a bigger audience. We also decided to add more inserts into our promoted regions, so again, that we could reach a wider variety of customers. Next, in quarter 7, the biggest critical decision was made, which was to add 2 new brands. This brought in high revenues and success to the company. You can see in the picture that the sales were very high, and Atom LT and Atomic Pro Max, which were the 2 new additions, added in a ton of sales. So going forward, Online Now must keep in mind to every so often add some new products so that we can keep our customers engaged and grow loyalty with our old customers. Lastly, looking at quarter 8, the critical decision that was made was to switch from 25 units per day to 0 units per day for our fixed capacity production. This negatively affects the business as it brings in no capital investment to the company. So going forward, we must address this issue by looking to increase it in the future so that we can bring in more capital investment to the company. Now I will give it back to Garrett to go over the lessons learned.
Lessons learned. As founders of Online Now, we have learned a lot of lessons while managing Online Now together. I think our founders' success can be found from a lot of different perspectives. Much effort went into making the company successful, and the founders believe our customers were the key to success. Online Now's customers were the key to success because they believed and supported what Online Now had to offer. A major difference the founders would like to state is how we avoid problems we have already encountered. A simple solution to this issue is simply to learn from your mistakes and move forward. A lot of our broad strategy is just about the customers. Adding care to your PCs is our motto, and we do like to stand by it. Some of our processes and strategies are to work together and excel in what we do. The above listed reasons are why our company was profitable in the end. Thank you.